On this week's show, Flames football looks to bounce back in sweet home Alabama. And we get to know more about the name change of TJ Green.
Plus, it's not even basketball season yet, and Liberty Hoops is getting some high praise. And we look back at another top 50 moment. This is Flames Central.
Liberty spoils the grand opening for UAB's protective stadium, and basketball is officially practicing. Hey everybody, welcome on into Flame Central alongside Emily Austin. I'm Rhett McKibben.
Rhett, we were a little worried going into this game about Liberty bouncing back after a tough loss against Syracuse, but Hugh Freeze had the Flames back on track.
Yeah, he sure did. And as you would expect, the Flames would have to sustain a strong first quarter from the Blazers. First ever game once again at Protective Stadium. In the first quarter, UAB would control much of the play, outgaining LU 165-55. However, the Flames defense would stand tall, forcing the Blazers to settle for a 34-yard field goal at the 10:44 mark. Blazers up 3-0. In the second quarter, Liberty's offense would begin to wake up. They would march down the field on a 13-play, 82-yard drive, but would stall on the 3-yard line, forcing the Flames to turn to their freshman field goal kicker, Braden Beck, who would put up 3 on the board for LU. We head to the third quarter, where Malik Willis would take over. Flames on the 8-yard line, where Willis would scramble to find pay dirt, giving LU their first touchdown of the game. Flames would go up 10-3. Still in the third, CJ Daniels with a reception, and then he finds his way through a maze of defenders, taking it 34 yards to the house. Liberty would take a 17-3 lead. Eventually, they would tack on another Willis touchdown on the ground to cap off the third quarter, and the Flames will blow out the candles on UAB's opening night celebration, claiming their 4th win of the season. Here's what Coach Freeze had to say about the team's bounce-back victory.
I'm just really proud of our kids, and what about the effort from our defense? I mean, they just coming into this place against a very, very good football team that's won Conference USA the last 2 out of 3 years, opening their new stadium, disappointed after the last week. There was just a lot that we would tell about ourselves this week, and I'm really happy with the results. So yeah, this one certainly is easy to enjoy.
Great to see the Flames back in the win column. You know what else I like to see? All the love on social media for the Flames. And of course, for star quarterback Malik Willis. That's why we put together this segment, Hearsay with EA. I go all around the internet to find the best LU content. Well, that and because I really wanted a segment with my Bitmoji. Okay, let's get started with the best of the best. Mel Kiper Jr. with an appropriate update to his quarterback rankings. Remember, he had Malik at number 3 in early September. Now he sits at number 1 as he raves about Malik's ability to stay away from mistakes and how he's progressed as a passer. He's playing like the clear QB1 of his draft class. PFF College shows Malik as the highest graded quarterback under pressure in week 5, 95.9. Rhett, I believe that's an A, right?
Yeah, that'd be an A+.
More like an A+, yeah. More praise coming from Jim Nagy, executive director of the Senior Bowl, so you know he's seen some talent. He tweeted about Malik's strength. So hard to get him on the ground, have no comparison. Even guys at the next level are catching on, Rhett. Kansas City Chiefs. These guys see Patrick Mahomes every day. Safety Juan Thornhill says, I'm gonna have to watch that boy Malik Willis play in person. #respect. Rhett, don't worry. In Flames Nation, I replied and invited him to the mountain. Lineman Kyle Long stated the obvious. Malik Willis is entertaining. Yes, Kyle, we know. Other articles to check out on the web, Luke Easterling with DraftWire and Eric Edholm of Yahoo Sports on the QB race this week. And what NFL team does Malik play for? He's a Philadelphia Eagle. And finally, other Flames news, check out the athletic director Ian McCaw on the Christian Coach podcast. Whew, that's it for Hearsay with EA. You should see all the content we couldn't get to.
That's absolutely crazy, and great to see the Malik hype continue to get louder and louder. Well, have you ever had an experience where you've called somebody by a name for the entire time that you've known them just to find out it actually isn't their real name? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Flames transfer running back TJ Green hasn't always been TJ Green.
Green was a 4-star recruit out of high school, Chandler, Arizona.
TJ Green's running the ball well.
TJ Green, number 15 in red.
One thing they like about Green, he does have that take it to the house kind of speed.
My birth name is Travell Eugene Hayes Jr.
Here's Green. Green up the middle. Green!
That's the running back, TJ Green.
No one has known my real government name. It's just been TJ Green.
What? Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but who we know as TJ Green, he was born in 1998. Other than his name, not much has changed through the years.
Outgoing, personality, always been a magnet to people around. His aura has always been positive, always smiling.
That smile would get a little bit bigger when at 2 years old, Dion Green would join the family.
As a single mom, I was cool, you know what I mean? But when he came in, it just made everything better. It made everything whole because he became us.
I love kids, so it was pretty easy at 2. TJ and his mom is so close. They still like that today. They double team me on everything, you know what I mean?
Yes, we do.
A few years later, his mother would notice a talent of her son that would eventually shape his life forever.
TJ had this ball, and it went flying down the street, and he went chasing it. And he caught up to it, and I was like, whoa, you know, like this kid, he got some wheels. So I think about 4 or 5, we kind of knew like he had something going. We just didn't know what.
Well, they would soon find out. And Dion would continue to make an impact on young TJ. When they signed him up for football a few years later, TJ would do something unexpected.
I just used my stepdad's last name.
He wanted his jersey to say Green on the back. He just did it, you know, he started it himself. It wasn't like, oh, we pressured him to do.
I've been using that since I was 5 or 6.
And everyone would just go with it. Because Dion made such an impression on his life, years later, TJ would decide to make things official.
It's a long process, so I just never really got time in high school. And then I feel like now, me, 22, I should just change it, and that's what I decided to do.
As of September 30th, 2021, he legally became TJ Green.
It was always legal to me from the beginning. You know? I'm always there. I've been his dad, you know what I mean? And it's like he's my biological son. I don't see, you know, anything different.
Today consists of cross-country trips full of red-eye flights and connections and countless hotel stays.
My mom and my dad, they don't care where the game will be. They're there.
We sleep overnight on the plane.
We don't miss one game. We love it.
Game time, baby. Near side, Green has first down yardage.
Let's go.
My mom's the loudest. You'll hear her every time in the stadium. He's the calm. He tries to keep her calm, but you can't really control mine.
That boy's bad.
Watching their son play Division I football for the Liberty Flames is beyond a blessing for TJ's parents.
I hope they're super proud. That's my goal, to make them proud. I mean, they've put so much sacrifice and so much into me and my future. I just want to make them proud.
Possibly the best part? Seeing Green on the back of his jersey.
Every time I see it. Every time I see it. That means so much to me. No, it really does.
He's done a great job stepping in, being my dad. So I salute him for that.
TJ Green, and not only because he's my son, he's one of the best kids I know. He makes me be the best I can be. Yeah, he really does.
Just a great feel-good story. Emily, great job putting that together.
Thank you.
Now, here's my question. How do you go through high school being a stud? You're getting recruited by Utah, and nobody's saying, hey, that's not your real name on the back of your jersey. How does that go through?
Apparently, Coach Freeze didn't even know this. Bruce Johnson was having a conversation with TJ for so long, and he's like, I don't even know if Coach Freeze knew that Green really isn't his last name. But it's pretty permanent, too. He has a huge tattoo of Green on his arm, too. So really good story.
Yeah, real good story. All right, with it being homecoming this weekend, we thought it would be a great time to break out one of the top football plays in program history.
Yeah, so we'll go back to 2014. The Flames are a part of the FCS. They'd be looking to knock off FBS counterpart Appalachian State. This game had all the offense you can ask for, but it would be a defensive effort that would give the Flames a victory.
October 11th, 2014. Liberty and App State locked up in an overtime battle that saw the two teams combine for over 1,100 yards of total offense. The Flames would score first in the overtime period on the connection from Josh Woodrum to Darren Peterson. Then App State would try to respond.
Lamb to throw, end zone, intercepted! We win at 50! We got it! Jacob Hagan! It's over!
All-American safety Jacob Hagan with the crucial defensive stop in overtime that would seal the Flames' victory over yet another FBS opponent.
Such an awesome moment. Well, it's only October, but hey, it's never too early to talk a little Liberty hoops. The Flames head into their 4th season in the ASUN Conference, and as you may know, LU has won the conference championship every season it's been a member. So, probably won't surprise you that the Flames were picked to finish first in the preseason coaches and media polls. Also, the awards keep coming in for Darius McGee, who was named the ASUN Player of the Year last season. The senior was voted as the preseason Player of the Year and named to the preseason All-Conference team. So what does all that mean? Well, it's time to get to work and meet those high expectations. LU held its first practice at Liberty Arena. It's great to see the guys back on the court, as well as some of those new faces out there that we look forward to introducing you to shortly. And while the preseason recognition is great and all, in typical head coach Richie McKay fashion, he's focusing on how he can get the Flames better right now while practicing in the moment rather than looking too far ahead.
I'm just hoping that we build on a daily basis to have an authentic commitment to getting better. That's coach speak, I know. But really, I can't worry about a game on February the 9th against Lipscomb. I gotta worry about practice tomorrow, and that's really, we're trying to impose that mindset in our guys so that they digest it in a way that is genuine enough to have it manifested on the floor.
So pumped for some basketball. Time for us to take a step aside, but after the break, Lady Flames field hockey takes on Duke, and Rhett is back for Warm, Hot, and Fuego.
Plus, I've got some hockey highlights. What more do I need to say? Flames Central is coming right back.
Some come for the crowd, the team, the community, or the love of the game. Others are game changers, here to fulfill their dream of impacting the world. We are here to help every student reach their goals by providing advanced learning, moving worship, competitive athletics, and an enriching social network. One thing is certain, as our campus grows, so does our passion for the things that truly matter. We remain strong in our commitment to deliver a premier Christian education to more than 125,000 students around the globe. Liberty offers over 700 academic programs, including nursing, aviation, cinematic arts, seminary, and law. Our combination of hands-on learning and dedicated faculty enables students to graduate job-ready, no matter what program they choose. Our thriving online community is no exception. We want to help distance learning students add a graduation cap to the many hats they wear, allowing them to be a part of our family without leaving theirs. Liberty's campus is alive with the heartbeat of true faith. Here, professors are mentors, classmates are worship leaders, and teammates are family members. Speakers from all walks of life address one of the largest Christian gatherings in the nation, challenging students to grow in many different ways. Liberty's vibrant spiritual life ignites students with a passion for the gospel. Our athletes compete at the highest collegiate level with 20 NCAA Division I teams. The Liberty Flames have captured more than 150 conference titles, and their intensity continues to light up the playing field. A thriving club sports and intramural program also provides plenty of opportunities to be a part of the team. But social life is not limited to the confines of our stadiums. Whether it's a world-class musical concert or a professional theatrical performance, there are many ways to take a study break with friends. We have over 7,000 acres of campus to explore and encourage students to test their limits with hiking, biking, and shredding the slopes at Liberty Mountain Snowflake Center. Our campus continues to develop as we build the framework for an exciting future. We are striving to remain on the cutting edge of higher education. As the momentum builds, our mission remains the same. We always have and always will be training champions for Christ.
First responders, you proudly serve. You are faithful to the call to serve your community, the call to protect, the call to save lives. Just as you honor God through your calling, at Liberty University, we're called to honor you by saving you money so you can earn a degree that prepares you today for whatever calls tomorrow.
Hey there, welcome back to Flames Central. We continue the show with some field hockey action. The number 12 Lady Flames hosted number 20 Duke. Remember, these two teams met last spring and ended in a double overtime battle with a Liberty victory. The Lady Flames looking to do that again and extend their winning streak to 5 games. Let's go to the first. Jill Bolton is looking to score, but Duke's Piper Hamsch makes the save for a moment, but off the rebound, it's Daniela Rhodes there to put it in. It's an early 1-0 Liberty lead. Later in the game, Lady Flames with a 1-goal lead with less than 7 to play. Bolton again in the action with an absolute missile from the far side. Martu Sion is there to tip it in, giving Liberty an insurance goal. That was Sion's second score of the day. The Lady Flames go on to win this one over Duke 5-2. Up next, Liberty will welcome Villanova to town for a Big East matchup.
Well, it's turned into one of the main attractions on Liberty's campus since its inception. The Midnight Game, or Midnight Mayhem, was back this past weekend with Liberty hosting Michigan Dearborn at the LaHaye Ice Center. Flames would win the Friday game 3-2, and we're looking for the sweep in this top 10 matchup versus the Wolverines. Second period, Jackson Versolano would drop it back to Jason Foltz, who would make a pretty little move and give the Flames a 1-0 lead. Late stages, second period, Liberty having just scored to go ahead 2-1. And the very next shift, Billy Brock with a pass to find West. He'd take it top shelf, tying the game at 2. In the third period, Chris Bladen would pick up the puck to start the 2-on-1. He feeds it across to Josh Fricks, who buries it on the backhand, giving the Flames a 3-2 lead. Later on the power play, Flames Nation cheering on LU, and it would work out as Jacob Calendike comes across the blue line, wires it top cheddar to give the Flames a 4-2 lead. The first-year player Calendike ripping it. Flames go on to take it by a final 5-2, sweeping the weekend series and improving their record to 4-0 on this young season.
I bet that LU hockey's success has something to do with that stellar broadcast team. Well, our next feature is more proof that sports play a significant role in our lives. Former Liberty football player Ian Childress crossed paths with another alumni in the most organic way. Today, the two are using sport and scripture to share life lessons to others.
There you go, work those hips on the way back. Come on, rotate those hips on the way back. Sprint till you hear that beep. Come on, come on, come on.
Ian Childress trains elite athletes at Chip Smith Performance Systems in Norcross, Georgia.
That's it, good. Try to get to that line every time. If you get to that line, then try to get past the next rep. Let's go.
When he first met Chip, Ian found out that their paths were paved with similarities.
I remember meeting Chip for the first time, learning he's from Virginia. He played football at Liberty, wore number 32 like I did.
But the bond that really ties them together? Ian is married to Chip's daughter. The couple was living in Virginia while Ian worked as a local high school coach. But Chip had an idea to bring them closer to home.
As any father, I was looking for a way to get my baby back to Georgia. I had an opening for a performance coach, and I said, I'd like for you to come to Georgia and work for me.
There we go.
Ian would accept Chip's offer, reuniting father and daughter. But beyond that, it also gave Ian the opportunity to use sports in others' lives, as sports had been used in his.
I was a kid with a temper when I was young and got in a lot of trouble.
That was until a local youth coach introduced him to the game of football.
I think it's definitely what I needed at the time, and then dealing with the anger issues and stuff like that and seeing like, oh, I don't have to take my frustration out on my brother or sister. I can take it out on somebody else who I don't even know, like hitting somebody. I have the same opportunity, the same role for some of these kids now, and it's pretty cool like to be able to see that and to understand that as a coach now, like looking back, like this is why I am the way I am, is because of this person or because of that person, all these other people in my life. And this is why sports were so good and instrumental for me to get to where I am today. See how you're still holding it. Finish all the way through. Let that bar roll back to those fingertips every time, okay?
Ian now works with athletes of all ages and skill levels. But no matter who's on the receiving end of his instruction, he pours into their lives well beyond sports, carrying out Chip Smith's vision of what real coaching is all about.
You have to be physically, mentally, spiritually fit. And if you're lacking in any of those areas, you're not a total person. And so we preach that here. We tell every player that comes in, and Ian hears this all the time, you know, our priorities in life, first and foremost, is our relationship with Jesus. Second is our family.
It's more about like, hey, like treating people as family. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from Chip is teaching these athletes that come in here, like, hey, like it's all about getting to know who they are personally, not just on the athletic side of things. And so I think that's what we need to do as coaches is show that love and support for those athletes on that end.
Whether a kid is a middle school kid and he never plays on a Friday night or never plays on a Saturday or certainly not on Sunday, you love him the same as a kid that's a first-round draft pick or a Pro Bowl player or a Hall of Fame player.
As a sports performance coach, you basically are creating a bond with athletes, taking them through just not necessarily even just the world of sports, but through life. Come on, come on, come on. Legs are getting heavy, let's work. Good.
Great story. Rhett, you're back.
Yeah,
so happy. Last week we had to have Matt Warner fill in.
Oh,
and
man.
We all know how that went.
Oh,
no,
I'm
I'm
sure it's
kidding.
fine.
It was great. Anyways, glad to have you back. In this segment, Warm, Hot, and Fuego, Rhett breaks down the best moments, plays, or players of the week. We usually have a theme.
Yes. National Pierogi Day.
Yum.
Okay, yes.
Hashtag carbs.
I have a life story with pierogies. I'm going to kind of tell it in stages here, but to start off, it starts off with a train trip across Canada that lasted 3 weeks. All right,
I think I've heard part of this, so we start things off with warm.
Yeah, warm. Here, Jonathan Bennett, what a throw this guy had. You know, the backup quarterback for LU coming in out in, I guess waste time you want to call it. Liberty had this game well in hand. You think they're going to run the ball, but what a toss.
Let's go.
Like an absolute beauty. Sibley gets his first touchdown of his career, but Bennett, talk about dropping this one right in the bucket. What a beautiful throw. Best throw of the day, in my opinion. And you look at Bennett, you're so glad he's come back from injury and he's been able to play football again.
Great teammate.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go on. The way he supports Malik Willis is incredible. He does a great job on Twitter of just pumping him up. Anything he says about the guy he's in competition with or when things got going, like Bennett thought, hey, I might be QB1 at Liberty after Buckshot leaves, but then Willis comes in. There's competition there, obviously. Willis wins out, rightfully so. He's been amazing. But the way that Bennett has gone on to support him, top notch.
Yeah, it's great to see them play off of each other as well. Okay, we move from warm to hot. What do we have in
All
hot?
right, next stage of my pierogi story.
Okay.
The train trip, right? There was a derailment. So we didn't get to get on the train.
Terrifying.
Yes, okay, so the next part's coming about the pierogies in a second. Hot Maddie Oliver on the women's soccer team. This young lady, I said early on, I think it might have been in the first WEF of the season, that Maddie Oliver was gonna need to score some goals, provide secondary offense for the Liberty women's soccer team to be productive. She has done just that, actually leading the team with 6 goals. What I love about her is she can post up, basically, turn and fire like you saw right there. She has a drive to the cage as well and is not afraid to get into the dirty area. So her offensive installments for LU has been a big part of them having such a great record so far this season in non-conference play and also in the cross-divisional games.
Yeah, their offense has been on fire this season. I like that sunset, too, going on in that game. I need to get out to more soccer games. All right, we top things off with En Fuego is the trail off the track, or the train off the track.
So we finally get back on the train. We go to Winnipeg, Manitoba. We get put up in this hotel for 3 days. I must have eaten 50 pounds of pierogies at this place. First time I ever had them. They're so good. All right, En Fuego. Malik Willis,
Of
this
course.
guy, on the ground. I'm just talking about on the ground. I'm not talking, he had a great arm. He showed it, had some great throws. That was an awesome toss to C.J. Daniels. But when he got going on the ground, I heard somebody recently say he might not be the fastest guy, but boy, is he strong. You see the tackles just shedding off of him, and their stat came out second most broken tackles by a QB since 2014. He had 15 broken tackles in this game. People just sliding off of him. He must put butter on his arms or something pregame. I don't know what's going on, but nobody can haul this guy down. He takes a massive hit here. He was outstanding. Love the play of Malik Willis. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 144 yards.
His physical strength is crazy. All right, we are going to break so we can get some pierogies.
Yeah.
We have a Flames fantasy update coming up next. Stay with us.
Home. It's a feeling that can't quite be put into words. It's a collection of memories, the experiences that make you who you are. Home is the place that brings together people who matter to you. For some, it's the family you're born with. For others, the family you choose. Home is always changing, always growing. But the heart of what makes it special remains the same. The legacy of those who also called this place home lives on. And now, we come home. We remember our past, celebrate the present, and embrace the future. This is Liberty. This is home.
At the fence, leaping! Wow! To the 5, pylon, he's in!
Everybody, welcome back to Flame Central. Glad you're hanging out with us today. Emily, if I'm perfectly honest, I don't even know why we're doing this next segment. Matt's not even on this episode, and we're going to show the Flames fantasy football standings.
Rhett?
Yes.
Because when we mount our comebacks, it will be all the sweeter. So I need you to stay focused and stay positive
I need some of
while
that
we
intensity.
look at the point total after week 5. First, these are the teams. Don't even pay attention to Joe Yock. He's not even sure if he's playing or not. I'm a little upset, though, that you passed me because I had a really solid start. I'm going to have a conversation with Malik Willis on don't pass everything to Douglas and Daniels. Maybe give it the rock to Max some.
Yeah, or TJ Green. One of those two. That would be very helpful for us because Matt's up on us by 80 points right now.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out our Flame Central podcast. Download it wherever you listen to your podcast today.
And check out our website as well, libertyflamecentral.com. All of our stories are there, and you can tap into them anytime. She's Emily. I'm Rhett. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you right back here next week.